Everyone should make a 5-year plan and be willing to change it every year. Because things rarely go as planned and sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. People go insane because they have no tolerance for bullshit in life and they can't handle it. If you want to look 30 when you're 50, keep watching. Welcome to ALUX. If you trace back all the wisdom we have about life, you'll eventually end up in ancient Greece. Every book you've ever read, every quote you share, it all has roots there. With no corporate ladder to climb and no stock market to invest in, people in ancient Greece had entirely different life problems. They didn't automatically assume happiness will come from the things they own. Instead, they found life satisfaction from their thoughts. They understood that good order in their heads would mean good order in their life. Granted, there was slightly fewer distractions 2,000 years ago. Could you imagine if you picked a person from ancient Greece and teleported them to our current day and dropped them into Times Square? What would go through their mind when blasted with billboard ads and selfie flashes? But we digress. Back then, people really put a lot of effort into figuring out life for themselves. What others have done over the years to translate and reshape that wisdom to fit the current times. But if you want to start with the source, it's ancient Greece and Rome. That's where our story begins. No person has the power to have everything they want, but it is in their power not to want what they don't have and cheerfully put to good use what they do have. That's a quote from Seneca, one of the great Stoics of that time. Now let's dissect that quote a bit. No person has the power to have everything they want. People want everything in life and they think they won't find happiness or peace until they secure it. But the truth is, you'll never have everything you ever wanted. There's always going to be something flashier, more exclusive, and with better status. It's a never-ending game. If you ever become highly successful, and we truly hope every one of you will, you'll eventually find a point where things become just numbers on a screen. Grant Cardone said that in 2022, you need about $20 million to be rich. Above that mark, things don't really change that much. Well, maybe when you're a billionaire and you plan to single-handedly change how entire industries work, but even then, not all things will work out as they should or as planned. Elon Musk wanted to fix LA traffic by creating high-speed tunnels, but so far it hasn't really worked out. People reported traffic jams in the tunnels, the very problem they were supposed to fix. And even if you have infinite resources and connections, there will always be things you want but can't have. Now exploring the next part of the quote. It is in their power not to want what they don't have. This is the interesting part. Do you have the power to not want a beautiful mansion? Can you resist the temptation of not wanting to travel only by jet at your convenience? Well, you shouldn't. Why wouldn't you want that? But it's not really what this is about. But do you have the power to not want only green traffic lights when you commute to work? This is where your tolerance to bullshit starts to unravel. The Stoics believed you should only focus on things you can control. There's even a famous prayer about it. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. They believe that giving too much or any attention at all to things they have no power over will affect the order in their head and, in turn, the order of their life. In modern terms, they promoted a certain tolerance to bullshit. Someone who sees only trouble will find only trouble. A person cut them off again. The store didn't accept card payments for some reason and you don't have any cash. Someone parked in your spot. You're wearing all white and it starts raining. Your zipper gets stuck. Your charger is too short. These are all small problems if left alone, but huge problems if given too much attention. People think having zero tolerance for bullshit is a sign of strength, but it's quite literally the opposite. Inconvenient things will happen inevitably. Here's a real-life example. When we shot our app announcement, we made the genius move of having the mic inside the jacket pocket instead of outside. In turn, it picked up some friction noises and the audio was almost impossible to work with. We managed to fix it somehow, but you can still hear some of the scratches if you listen carefully. That small problem had the potential to ruin the whole thing, and even though the solution was not perfect, it was good enough. The point is, even things you prepare for can go sideways. The only way to move forward and not get stuck is to accept them. How to tolerate your own bullshit. How many times have you left today's responsibilities for tomorrow you? That is the wrong bullshit to tolerate, but there's a certain tolerance you need to accept. You won't always say the right words. You won't always do the right things. You will eventually make a bad call. People would be a lot happier and at peace with themselves if they didn't ponder on those things so much. There's a great relief when you realize people don't really care about you, and we say that in a good way. They have their own problems. They've said their own dumb things or made the wrong calls. You cannot possibly get it right every single time. When the bad call is made, try to fix it, but then move on. Hold yourself accountable, but don't beat yourself up. Tolerating bullshit to get out of the hole. Sometimes things will get much worse before they get better. This is where the bullshit tolerance becomes an art. Imagine you're in a storm. You're soaking wet, the wind almost knocks you down, there's stuff flying in your eyes, you can barely see, it's loud and you hate it. Now imagine you're in that same storm, but you're inside a glass cube. The rain is still there, but nothing is really touching you. You're just looking at it. The glass cube is your tolerance level. It'll eventually stop raining, and if your cube holds against the wind, you'll come out the other side untouched. The stronger you build your glass cube, the more intense storms you'll be able to endure. People who work great under pressure can tolerate high winds without losing their balance. Bullshit will inevitably happen to you. Learn to build a life that thrives despite it. This is how you do it. Seneca said that if you have passed through life without an opponent, no one can ever know what you're capable of, not even you. We're obviously not suggesting you go out there and look for trouble. Instead, when those situations happen, when your storms come, look for ways to hone your skills. You can always turn a bad event into an opportunity to grow. Let's go back to that glass cube idea. You're out there in the rain with nothing else to do except wait for it to pass. Read something, do some push-ups, meditate. You're stuck there anyways, you might as well get something out of it. This type of thinking will transform your glass cube into a bunker. It'll allow you to not only tolerate the bullshit, but come back even stronger on the other side. You will accept inconvenience as a normal part of life, and you will actively embrace it because you know that with every hurdle, you become a better version of you. And that's it for today, Aluxer. We hope you found something valuable here today. And before you go, we've got a question. What kind of bullshit do you tolerate in life? And more importantly, how can you use it to make you stronger? Let us know in the comments. And as a thank you for sticking with us until the end, of course, you know you're getting a bonus. How to improve your bullshit radar. There is a difference between harmful crap and harmless crap. When faced with inconvenience in life, ask yourself this: is there something you can do right now that will solve this problem forever? Recurring harmless crap will eventually become harmful if left unattended, so don't let life push you around. Take your stand, make your point, and fix the problem.